Welcome to the 2025 Steeplechase Showcase at Brigham Young University. Athletes from across Utah and Idaho converged here at this track and field complex here in Provo, Utah for an evening of 2,000 meter steeplechase as well as 1,500 meter and 400 meter races. The 1,500 and 400 meter races are showcased in another video. Now, for those new to the steeplechase, it's a distance race that incorporates fixed barriers and water jumps. In the 2,000 meter version, it's just 5 laps. Runners face a total of 23 jumps, 18 regular barriers, and 5 water jumps. Each lap includes 5 jumps with only 3 on the very first one. Now let's talk a little bit about the history of steeplechase at BYU. BYU earned the nickname Steeplechase U for a good reason. BYU has produced multiple NCAA champions and Olympians in this event, starting with the legendary Henry Marsh. He was a 4-time Olympian and former American record holder who helped make the steeplechase popular during the 70s and 80s. Fast forward to today, Kenneth Rooks carried on that legacy by winning the NCAA title in 2023 and secured silver in the 2024 Paris Olympics with a personal best time of 8:06. His teammate James Corrigan finished 3rd at the U.S. Olympic trials, earning his spot on the USA Olympic team alongside Rooks. On the women's side, BYU's dominance started early. Elizabeth Jackson won the first ever NCAA women's steeplechase in 2001. Michaela Manova followed in 2002, and Cassie Anderson took the title in 2003 with a then historic time of 9:44. Most recently, Courtney Wayment shattered the collegiate record in 2022 with a 9:16 performance and represented Team USA in Paris 2024, finishing 12th in the Olympic final. So the Steeplechase Showcase isn't just a competition, it's an opportunity for young athletes to learn the basics of one of the most technical events in track and field. It combines hurdling with distance running, and not only hurdling, but a water barrier as well. Many athletes had never attempted a barrier or water jump before this event. It was inspiring to see them take on this challenge with enthusiasm. We're going to see athletes like Susan Hedengren, who won the race last year and was defending her title in the girls' championship race. We also saw some spills. Elle going down into the water, somersaulting over, got back up and finished the race. So inspiring with these obstacles and barriers in the way. They just represent more than just a barrier, a physical barrier, but some of those just mentally challenging barriers that you face in track and field as you strive to push yourself to the next level. So lots of middle school and a couple high school athletes competed. This is an opportunity, especially for high school athletes who are going on to races like Nike Outdoor Nationals, where the steeplechase will be held. This is not a common race that is run in high school regular season, and so it's an opportunity for athletes to be able to try a new event they've never tried before. As I mentioned, we started with the 1,500 and 400 meter and had a great time. Everybody gathered around the steeples, and this runner here was disqualified for going underneath, but he still had a great time. So we're going to start with the 1,500 meter, where the athletes are going to start 100 meters into a 4-lap race, which is very similar to the mile or the 1,600 meter, and then on to the 400 meter. If you missed those videos, I'll put links here that you can click those and watch some of the recap and race interviews. But a great time here. Athletes had a great cheering section and a lot of enthusiasm to try something new. So here we go with the first heat.
So we'll give you the mile split here after the first 4 laps, and we'll see how they're doing. The pacing in the steeplechase is an interesting thing. You got to work as hard as you can, but still save a little something so that you can clear those barriers at the end. You can see them on the back stretch there, clearing their first barrier. Looking pretty good.
Let's go, guys!
You're not doing it right. Number 260, looking strong. He comes through in 72 for the first lap. So he's running about 4:48 mile pace. Quick pace there. The rest of the pack through in about 80 seconds. So they're on approximately 5-minute mile pace. These next 2 or 3 laps are going to be really, really important to stay focused and to maintain that pace between the barrier. You'll see different hurdle technique. What they want to focus on is pushing slightly, increasing your speed into the barrier so that you don't lose too much speed and then have to accelerate again after the barrier. Each time you accelerate, it uses oxygen, it uses energy, so you want to make sure you very gradually speed up before the barrier so that you can maintain that pace over the barrier. Does not look like we have a lot of newbies out there. I'm pretty impressed with everyone. A lot of these runners haven't necessarily trained for today's race or had a lot of practice going over these big barriers. So barriers are set at about 30 inches, which I believe is the women's height for steeple, and then the men is quite a bit higher than this. 36, I believe. Alrighty, through at 2:30, so he's right on 5-minute pace now. Let's cheer him on. These next 2 laps are going to be absolutely crucial. 3 laps to go, guys. Great job, our single woman here, running in the men's heat so she can have some competitors to pull her along. Very important for steeplechase runners to hurdle with both a right lead leg and a left lead leg. So no matter which leg you take off on, you can clear the barrier smoothly. So many steeplechasers will practicing hurdling with their dominant leg, which for me would be a right lead leg and a left trail leg. And they'll also practice their non-dominant side, which for most right-handed runners will be a left lead leg with a right trail leg. Hip mobility, very important in the steeplechase. A lot of our professional runners from BYU doing a ton of mobility and strength work in the hips. So lots of work in the gym as well. You can see on the screen there we have our Olympian, Kenneth Rooks. He does a lot of stability training, a lot of core strength, and then a lot of lower leg training, making sure that they're strong enough to endure the impact of the steeplechase. Obviously you have the regular impact from running, but as you come down off the barriers, especially off the water jump, your body will experience a lot of impact forces. Our winner is still looking strong there. He's on lap number 3. Here we go. Good job, guys. The steeplechase challenges you mentally even more than other races, so they're going to need our encouragement here as they come through with 3 laps to go. I remember that feeling in the 3K steeplechase when you still had about a mile or 2,000 to go and you were hurting already. It takes every ounce of determination and grit to make it to the finish line. Our sole female runner doing a great job there. I believe she's in 3rd place and looking strong over the barriers. You can tell she's a hurdler, has great form over the barriers. With the steeple barrier, you want to leave a little bit of extra space for clearance. Unlike hurdles, where you can knock into the barrier or clear it by, millimeters, with steeplechase, there is a reaction if you hit that barrier, and obviously a big injury risk. So you want to make sure you're not jumping crazy high over the barrier and wasting a lot of energy, but you do want.
At this point, the finish line camera died, so we're going to just go with the drone shots for the rest of it. This highlights some of the we're on the last lap here that Eli is going to start. We had Addy racing with the boys. She was looking for some great pacing here, and she got it with the likes of Eli and Ian, who are racing it at about a 5:30 mile pace. So they're going quite fast. And we see the scoreboard as well there. We had some great scoreboard that just makes the event kind of come alive with some footage of steeplechase. There's Charlie down the home stretch, and he is finishing that last lap. You can see Addy finishing her third to last barrier there. And here comes Eli finishing his last barrier and driving to the finish. Now Eli, normally high school boys, they do 36-inch steeples. He got the 30-inch treatment today, a little bit shorter, but got a massive personal best. And here comes Ian down the final stretch, driving for that final lap. And then we have Addy clearing the final hurdle as well, as she prepares for Nike Outdoor Nationals. And we'll get an interview with her after this race. So Addy, our first female finisher, 7 flat. And then we'll see the girls heat next. There goes Charlie with a big hug from Ian. They're going to be going into 9th grade together. Now, Ian learned his steeplechase form from Kenneth Rooks and really fell in love with the event. He just has a natural talent. Last year, he ran this race and started competing about 2 to 3 laps left in the race and won by 100th of a second. There goes Cope for the finish, as well as Joshua with a fantastic performance. Joshua just dropping some massive PRs this year in the 1600 meter. You can see that here in the steeplechase as well. Okay, so we're going to watch just the remainder of the finishers come through. They have just 1 lap left, most of them. Oh, there goes Joshua. He just finished. That must have been Weston. Didn't quite catch who finished earlier. And there goes Levi. He's coming up. He's got the pink shoes there. And then we've got another Wolfpack runner. No, this is one of Wolfpack's favorite events. They told me they love coming down, trying this new event, always up for a great challenge. And after this, they're all going to, after the last steeplechase event, they're all going to get their BYU Creamery chocolate milk and go dip in the steeplechase pit. It's kind of a nice tradition. Go cool off after a hard track meet in the pool and enjoy a little bit of refreshing Creamery chocolate milk. Here are the results. We see the ranging from Eli's time, and a lot of these athletes, the very first time they've run this.
So this was my first steeple race of the year so far, and I was super excited to race it because I love the postseason races because it's just no pressure and it's just you racing for yourself and just going out and having fun. What made this race special is I was able to race with the boys and that the crowd was out on the field, which I love it when they do that because it just brings the atmosphere to life and helps you run better, I think. So this race was super fun and it was a good learning experience because I definitely had more left in the tank at the end, which I'm glad to know before I go to some bigger national races. So what I learned from last year at Great Southwest is that you can't put limits on yourself. Last year, it was my first time ever trying steeplechase without any practicing or anything, and it went super good. I think one thing that really helped is that I was just excited to try something new and ready to face the challenges of the unknown, which just, I always feel like you do better because you don't know what to expect, so you're always just going to surprise yourself. And just overcoming hard things because that race was super hard, but I was able to finish in a pretty good time and really good place. Some ways that I'm preparing for Nike Nationals and Great Southwest is probably doing some bounding drills after my workouts and working out hurdles with my dad and my sister because my sister's a really good hurdler and my dad's her hurdle coach. And we'll probably work on like finding ways to like imitate the barriers, because we don't have any down where I live, so we'll just find some things to hop off of, and I think that will really help because that's my weakness, is the barrier. Some advice that I'd give someone for doing steeplechase for the first time is to not put any pressure on yourself and to not think too hard about it. Because if you think too hard about it, then you get in your head with the barriers and they'll just seem higher, and like you'll juke yourself out and the race won't go super well. So just have fun, and just because that's the best thing you can do with running, is if you keep it fun, then you're always going to have like better races, better mindset, which only helps you in the long run.
Tell me about the race.
Well, it was interesting because since it was a race mostly meant for middle schoolers, the hurdles were at 30 inches, so that was kind of nice, honestly. But it was just nice to go out and get a PR.
Anything during the race? Like, how'd it feel?
Well, being a steeplechase, it felt pretty bad. But it's always lots of fun because it's like taking a distance race, and I feel like someone with a sense of humor was the first person that decided to run that race, because it's kind of fun to do the water jump and get wet in a track race. It's not something you really expect.
Okay. What have you done to prepare for steeplechase?
Well, obviously I went on distance runs, and I also worked on like hurdle drills in preparation for the barriers, just making sure that I could go over them naturally so it didn't interrupt like my speed. Like in distance races, when you lose your momentum, you have to really work on like actively get that momentum back. So part of that is making sure you still have the momentum once you've gone over the hurdles for the water jump.
Okay. All right, and last, what advice do you have for somebody wanting to try out steeplechase for the first time?
Make sure that you're able to jump over the hurdles, and probably best not to wear socks, because then you just start squishing. It's not always the best. And just go have fun.
Ian Storey, 6:50 in the steeplechase, a minute better than last year. Ian, what changed this year?
I just really competed. Last year I was just having fun with it, and this race I just tried to see what I could do, and I did pretty well.
Now, you just excited the crowd last year. It was your first race, and you were just hitting those steeples. You came back from a deficit, won by 0.01 second with a photo finish. What was different, like just in terms of how you approach the race? A minute faster. We're not talking 0.01. We're talking a whole minute for that 2,000-meter steeplechase. What did you do to prepare for this?
I just visualized going over the water jump a lot and just kind of worked on doing some hurdles, and I watched the videos of me doing the water jump from last year and just tried to see how I could like make them better, and just, yeah.
Okay, so you're going into 9th grade now. Tell me about Roadrunners and how it's helped prepare you for high school.
It's been awesome. It's helped me to like learn to love running, and I'm really glad I joined, and I have had a lot of fun with it.
Tell me about what are some of your goals coming up?
Just work as hard as I can and get faster in high school, and just run with my buddies and have a great time.
Fantastic. I love that. Focus on the process. Let the outcomes take care of themselves, but just really work hard and do it with friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Ian. Charlie King, 8th grader, going into 9th grade, did the steeplechase, took 3rd place. Huge PR from last year as well. Last year is your first time doing this. This year, 2nd time. Tell me about something you felt like you learned from last year.
I think I really just learned like kind of the feel of going over the barriers and just like getting into a rhythm of going over them kind of.
Yeah, now you're running with your buddy Ian at the end of the race. I love it. You guys just had a big hug at the end of the race. Tell me about the kind of the strength that you get off of you, Cope, Ian, others that just kind of run together and push each other.
I think it really helps to have like a buddy running with and like cheering for you, so that just gives you like an extra boost of confidence on your races and stuff.
I love it. Now tell me about something you felt like you've learned from Roadrunners going into high school.
I think I've really learned how to just like work hard and to just like push it to improve.
Know how to dig deep and get more out of yourself that you didn't even know existed. When was the first time you felt like you knew you were a really good runner?
Probably like the first year I joined. After like a few practices, I was just like, I'm pretty good at this, so.
I want to stick with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's amazing how far you've come. Congratulations on a great season and going into high school. I'm here with Cope. Cope finished 4th place in the steeple, just behind Charlie and Ian. And Cope, tell me about some of the steeple. Like, how did it go?
It was good. I like the barriers. It's kind of fun to jump over them. It does get a little tiring at the end, but I think it's fun, and the water jump especially.
The water jump. You like the water jump. How do you approach a water jump?
I try not to stutter step, and I go off with my right, and then I land with my left, and then step back, start running with my right again. So
nice. You try to one step in the water as much as you can. You also had a massive improvement from let's see, last year. How did that one go last year when you did it for the first time?
Last year I was trying it just for fun kind of, and I wasn't really like trying as much as I could, but this year I feel like I kind of knew the jumps better, and I had a strategy for the water jump, and like I feel like it went a lot better and it was more fun.
Oh man, that's awesome. Now, your personal best this year, is it 5:09, 5:11?
Oh yeah, 5:10.
5:10, you're right there, 5:10. Going into high school with a 5:10 as an 8th grader. Tell me about some of the confidence and other things you've gained from running with Roadrunners.
I really love running because you can improve and see yourself improve a lot, and it gives you confidence to keep going. And it's pushed me to try hard, and like I've learned a lot about like myself, and it's really fun.
Oh, fantastic. Well, congratulations, Cope, on great Roadrunner experience going into high school, ready to tear it up.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, and they're off. We're going to intro this amazing race to 7 runners in the field that are going to be running their first steeplechase ever here at the Steeplechase Showcase. Hopefully they pace themselves well and start out a little more conservatively than they would in a 2,000-meter race. Typically in a 3K steeple, your race pace is typically about 30 seconds faster for a woman. So I've run a 9:25 flat 3K, and I've run a 9:58 steeplechase. So that's kind of the difference. That's how much the hurdles slow you down. And many of these runners will learn that lesson the hard way today. They'll start out a little hard, and they'll quickly be able to pace themselves better next time. Here's our first water jump.
Go Wolves! Go girls! Nice job!
All right, Jane Hedengren in the charge here. Susan Hedengren, my bad. Susan Hedengren leading the charge, looking really strong here. She has around a 5-minute mile PR. So let's see what she's got here. A 1 lap in, looking good. Keep your eyes focused on that athlete ahead. Keep you focused on their feet. Let them reel you in. Stay together. And make sure that you encourage your teammates out there. You're all in this together. 1 lap down. Susan is looking strong. You'll see how she speeds up slightly before each barrier. She's using the technique where you step on the barrier each time rather than hurdle it completely. Both techniques work well. Mostly at a slightly slower pace. It's a little easier to step on the barrier as that pace starts to get faster. Sometimes it's a little more efficient to hurdle the barrier. Mostly athletes will have a dominant lead leg, so the runners will want to take off with their right leg. But typically steeplechase runners have to be just as comfortable using the right and the left. Most runners at BYU will practice with regular hurdles rather than the solid barriers, so that if they knock them down, it doesn't injure them and take them out. For the season, they will also use the solid barriers for certain training sessions, and they will do a lot of video technique analysis. Coaches will video them both over the regular barriers and over the water jump, and they will analyze their technique in slow motion, just as you would if you were a tennis player working on your serve, and they will tweak that technique so that they become more and more efficient over the barrier, and they're able to maintain their speed over the barrier as much as possible. For the women, the steeplechase typically favors a stronger athlete, an athlete whose bones and muscular structure can handle the pounding that steeplechase provides, especially as you come down over that water barrier. You have to have a lot of strength, especially in the lower leg, lots of stress fractures in the foot, lots of ankle issues that are present in steeplechase. So if your body can handle it, the steeplechase is for you. All right, Susan, let's focus. One barrier at a time. That's the great thing about the steeplechase mentally, is you can break it up and just make it to the next barrier as quick as you can, and the next barrier as quick as you can. You want to feel like you're going slightly faster each lap. Obviously with the fatigue, you're probably not, right? You're probably maintaining your pace, but you want to feel like you're giving a little bit of extra effort on each lap. Susan looking good there, through with 2 laps to go at around 4 minutes. As Susan rounds the bend here, she's going to have just 1 lap to go. You guys are looking strong. Keep your eyes focused on that, the top of that barrier, and make sure that you're accelerating ever so slightly into the barrier so that you can maintain that pace over the barriers. Obviously, you want slightly more acceleration over the water jump than you would over one of these regular barriers, because the water jump slows you down even more. When Jamie comes around to this line right here, this will be her mile split, and then she'll have 1 lap to go. So right now she's at 5:22, so she's running about a 5:40 mile pace. Great job, guys. As you're hurdling the barrier, stay in lane 1 as much as possible. That'll be the shortest route around the track. All right, she comes to the mile in 5:45. Let's go, Susan. 1 lap to go. Looking strong. Attack those barriers. Be confident. And let's get after it. Great job, Roadrunners. Let's go. Steeplechase is one of my favorite races because you get to use your natural aerobic engine, you get to use your fitness, but you also use your brain in terms of strategy and your technique over the barriers. The more you refine your technique, the more oxygen you can save, the better athlete you can be. So it's not just about pure fitness, pure aerobic capacity, it's also about how much you've trained and what kind of technique and advice you have so that you can get over the barrier, expending as little energy as possible. All right, here comes Susan over the last barrier. Push with the big final sprint all the way to the finish line here. She's at 7:08, 7:09. Great work, Susan. 7:14. Susan crosses the line. I believe this is 2nd place, coming up with just 1 barrier to go. The majority of the mistakes in steeplechase happen typically on the last two barriers, either the final water jump or this final barrier right here. So athletes really want to use any kind of mental energy they have to focus on these last few barriers. There's second place in 7:42. Great race. The pacing on this race is very similar to any other race you run. You want to have a very slightly first half to second half. So in the case of the 2K like today, you want to have a slightly faster first 1,000 meter split than your second 1,000 meter split. That would be the most efficient way to run this race. Obviously, if it's your first time in the steeple, that can be tough. So it's easy to start too hard in the steeple. Here we go. Third place, free race 8:18. Very proud of all these runners, trying something brand new and very, very tough. So great job, ladies. Women's steeplechase times have come down faster than any other race, as some of the best runners from the 5K, from the 10K on the international scene are now switching over to the steeplechase. Steeplechase times used to be a little slower in comparison to some of the other times, but now they are absolutely lightning fast. Let's go, ladies. Look at these Wolfpack girls working together, pushing hard here in the final stretch. The kind of fatigue you experience after a steeplechase is even more intense than after a flat race. So tell these athletes congrats. They've done something really challenging today. Great job in 9:10. All right, Hazel, you jumped in at the last minute and you did it. 9:40, great job. All right, Elle, excellent work. Sub 10 minutes here. These runners are doing awesome.
Oaklie Rohatinsky, 1,500 and 2,000 meter steeplechase. To Oaklie, you did the 1,500 and then came up after that. I was like, hey, can I just do the 2,000 meter steeplechase for fun? But ended up taking third overall. So tell me about that decision to do the steeplechase yesterday.
I don't know. I just wanted to try it, and even though I've never hurdled anything, I just really wanted to try it. Like, the water jump sounded super fun, and so I was just doing it for fun.
Awesome, for fun. And when you got into it and realized that you're actually pretty good at it, how did that kind of, did you start racing it then at that point?
Well, I was like already kind of like trying, but I didn't want to like go all out and then die. But so I just like kept a consistent pace, but I think it would be fun to do again.
You're gonna do it again. Okay, this is gonna become a regular thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations, Oaklie.
Okay, thank you.
Susan Hedengren, 7:15, 2,000 meter steeplechase, completely destroyed her heat in the steeplechase. And so Susan, tell me about the race coming in, your mentality, what you were planning on doing.
Well, I was excited. I had a lot of preparation for this race. Like the whole day I was just in the boots and I was like eating a good lunch and different stuff like that. So I was ready to race, and so I went into it and I was excited to run. I thought Addy was gonna run in my race, but she ran with the boys. And so I just went out there, I took it out pretty fast, and then I just held on for dear life.
Now, you're thinking about like whether to hurdle or whether to step on each steeple. You decided to kind of step for the most part, right? So tell me about what do you think? I mean, 7:15 and even doing some things that maybe aren't as fast for the steeple. What do you think you can do once you finally get hurdle technique down?
I think I definitely will be able to break 7 if I had more of consistent pacing and if I learned how to hurdle it properly without getting hurt, then I think I could shave some seconds off.
Awesome. Now the water jumps, I noticed this year the water jumps were greatly improved. Tell me about what you did differently this year than last year.
Last year, I actually would step 2 feet a lot, and I would sometimes throw my arms up when I went down, but this year I tried to throw myself as far as I could go, and I tried to put 1 foot down, and then I kept running with the other one.
Good. 5 laps. That's a long, that last lap feels really long. You were hitting about a 5:45 for your first 1,600 meter, and then your last lap just got kind of gritty at the end. What can you say about running 5 laps versus a normal 4?
It was definitely hard coming in on the 800 knowing that you had 3 laps left and you weren't even halfway. But it was a lot of fun. I liked this steeplechase a lot.
Awesome. Thanks, Susan. Congratulations on that great performance. Tell me about some of your thoughts coming into Brooks and Nike.
I'm really excited. I'm just gonna go out there and have fun, and I want to close really hard, and I'm hoping to break 5, but we'll see what I can do.
Okay, now I just want to highlight right here, you are wearing the Brooks kit from James. Is it James Brooks kit from last year? Okay, so already excited for Brooks PR. Congratulations, Susan.
Thank you.
I'm here with Elle Clark. She did all 3 events, the 1,500 meter, the 400 meter, and the 2,000 meter steeplechase. Tell me about the races yesterday. Which one was your favorite?
Steeple.
Steeple was your favorite. Why was it your favorite?
I don't know.
Just it's hard. It was the very last event. You'd already done a 1,500 meter and a 400 meter. Tell me, you stumbled and went full on into the water at one point. Tell me, was that scary? Like, how did that? Okay, how did you get back up after that and keep going?
I don't know. I'm just like, I can't see. Whatever.
You're just kind of built that way, right? Like if there's obstacles or things that knock you down, you're just going to get back up and keep going. Okay, well, congratulations, Elle, on a great performance, and way to keep going even after the stumble.
Thank you.
I'm here with Clara, 2,000 meter steeplechase participant yesterday in the BYU meet. Clara, tell me about how you approached that race coming in.
I don't know. I thought it would be fun to do it, and so I did it, and it was fun, but it was really hard too.
Tell me, what's the hardest part of the steeple?
Probably jumping over all the steeple.
All the barriers, especially on that 5th lap maybe, huh?
Yeah.
Were there any times during the race that you were like, whoa, I almost clipped that or missed it or almost stumbled?
On the first water jump, I fell to my knees on it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So did you like doing the steeple? Are you going to do it next year?
Yeah, I think I want to do it again. It was really fun.
Now, it's hard, it's challenging, but it's fun. So tell me about that. Like, most people don't say it was hard and fun in the same sentence.
It's really fun. I don't know, the water is fun and stuff, but then it's also just really hard because all the barriers, and it makes you really tired.
Okay, so you got a sense of accomplishment. Now you are going into 7th grade this year, going from elementary into middle school. Somebody else is going to have to win your elementary 5K next year. You've been winning it so much. Now, tell me about that, just something you learned from elementary, Roadrunners, now going into middle school.
I don't know, Roadrunners just has really been fun, and it's prepared me a lot for when I go into high school.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on a great season. We got one more race coming up, and you did the steeple. That's super awesome. Congratulations, Clara.
Thank you.